Mandatory cabin equipment. Man, these things came out nice. My Uncle Charlie's gonna dig them. Welcome to the Humboldt YouTube channel. I'm Doc, and this time I was talking to my mom a little while ago and she asked me if I couldn't make my Uncle Charlie a couple of axes for the cabin. I said of course I can. So that's what I'm up to. So stay tuned, hang with me, and let's get to it. It's that eerie calm before the storm. We've got another one coming inland here. It's going to make landfall tonight. It's supposed to be another wicked storm, but my mom called me a little while ago and asked me if I couldn't make my uncle a couple of axes, and I said, of course I can. I grew up going up to the Sierra Nevadas a lot. My grandmother had a cabin built way back in the 70s up on Highway 80 in Alta, and she passed away a few years ago. And she wanted to make sure the cabin stayed in the family. So she passed it down to my Uncle Charlie, who spends quite a bit of time there. And so my mom asked me if I couldn't make him a couple of axes for the cabin. So that's what I'm up to. I'm going to make him a nice splitting axe, you know, on a 32-inch handle. And one on 28 inches to split and kindling and delimbing and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got my handles all picked out here. It's just hickory, you know. I got a 28 and a 32, so I'm going to get started on those. That one's about, I think, about 4.5 and 3.5. Actually, let me weigh them before I get going on them, you know. Try to make it a practice to weigh these things before I get going on them, just so I can see what I'm working with. I might as well. I bought this scale. So let's see what we're working with here. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know. Well, let's look at this one. I think it's about 4.5 pounds. Actually, 4 pounds, 10 ounces. And this one, 3.57, almost 3.5. So that'll be a good size. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to get these things cleaned up. Whoop. There we go. I'm going to clean these things up. I like the 32-inch handle for a split axe. It depends what you're doing, you know. If all you're going to do is split really big wood, I'd put a 5-pounder on a 36-inch, you know, and cut it down. But I prefer the 32, a 32-inch with a 4.5 to 5-pound head. It's all about the profile, though, to be honest. Fatter the cheeks, the better, you know. And this one, this is pretty old. I don't know if you can tell on the profile there, but whoop. Fat cheeks, and then I'll put a good edge on here, you know. And it'd be a good split axe. You could use it for other things too, but all right, well, let me get these things cleaned up. There you go. Cleans up nice. I'm leave all that patina on there. It's stamped 5. I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, it's stamped 5. It's an old head. It's got to be, if I had to guess, 50, 60 years old. But I like these old forged heads. And it's probably been sharpened so much it has gotten down on the bit, you know, and that's why it's fatter up here, and that's what you want in a split axe. I like the name brand ones. But mainly when I'm looking for split axes, I look at the weight, I make sure it's forged, and it's got a good split profile, which nice fat cheeks all the way down at the end, and I'll put a good edge on the end here. So all right, get this other one cleaned up, put an edge on them. All right, let's get an edge on them, you know. I mean, not razor sharp, but hey, it'll cut you. You know what I mean? All right. Get them on the handles, you know? So I'll fill that up, you know. I'm going to take it all the way down to the knuckle, you know. The biggest thing is making sure it's tight on the bottom, you know. And then I'll gobble the rest of that up with a wedge. So I get my handles from a Amish guy in North Carolina. All my handles, most all my handles anyway. And treats me right, so I keep going back. Especially these 32-inch handles are not. I prefer them. I think 32 is the way to go, in my opinion. But to each their own, you know. All right. Let me get this thing working. Actually, you can see that. I got to take this wood down. You probably know this, but the bigger eyes on top, you know, smaller eyes on the bottom. So you don't want to take any more wood than you have to. As soon as you start going down, because that wedge will spread that wood out, and then you have a good solid tight fit. But anyway, we do less talking and more whittling. I prefer a draw knife. Just be more precise with it. Takes a lot longer, but I try not to take any more wood than I have to, you know. I don't know what it is about making axes. This way anyway. Honor the old ways. Got all the loggers back in the day. Hand hafting their axes. All right, let's see where we're at. Already there. It's a gap underneath there. It'll swallow up. Whoop. Take it down, you know. It's getting there. Scrape all that lacquer off of there. All right, let's check it out. Back a little bit, huh? All right. Oh yeah. It's down all the way now, you know. I don't want to whack it. That gap's just about gone. There's a little one in there, but it ain't gonna hurt nothing. All right, well, that's one. Start on this one. Clean up that head. Man, this thing's sharp as shizzy. This one's not going to be too bad. I got to take it all the way down, you know. Oop. I'll take it all the way down to the knuckle and close up all that gap in there. It's going to fit nice. All right, well, I'm going to get to going on this one, and then I'll get to handling them. All right. Check our fit. Another storm headed our way. It's that time of year, you know. Oh yeah. All the way down. Oop. Give it a whack and see. Look at that. It's nice and straight. All right. Wow. No gaps, you know. That's how we like it. get them sealed up, but looking pretty sweet, huh? Gonna dig it. This one's gonna be, it's a nice splitting axe. All right, well, I'm gonna go take them and put a coat of poly on them. This one done. Just about done. I'll clean up the head and sharpen up the edge before I give it to him, but I wanted to make sure he had a splitter and a little chopping axe, which is what this little 28 inch is. Sucker sharp too, but I'll put another edge on it. Good for cutting up kindling too. Or just throwing it in the truck and having an axe. It's always kind of nice, you know. All right. All right. Let those sit up and harden. So I don't touch the end. And I'll let them sit overnight, and I'll finish up the edge, and these things will be done. So sweet. Well, these are basically done. I'm just cleaning them up a little bit. Man, they came out pretty awesome. I've trying to figure out the new laser engraver. I don't know if you can see that or not, but man, that thing's cool. So I just coat them with WD-40 or 3-in-1 oil, you know. But these are from my Uncle Charlie. He needs a couple users, so I made him a good splitter. This one should be good. It's on a 32, you know? Man, this thing. I put a pretty good edge on it too, and he'll dig it. Wow. Cleans up nice. I engraved his name on it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Maybe right there. So I'm learning. I didn't video the engraving. It just took me so long, you know. I didn't want to make any mistakes, but it came out all right. And this one came out cool too. Just I made him a little chopping axe and kindling, and I mean, use it for whatever he wants, you know. It's got a thinner profile. But these are some mandatory cabin equipment. Man, these things are sharp too. I put his name on that too. I don't know if you can see it or not. I think so. Anyway, I finished putting the edges on them. I mean, it's not razor sharp, but it'll cut you for sure. Well, the best part of doing these axes, for me, my favorite part is delivering them. So I've got a couple other axe videos going on, but my wife and I are going to head over and hand deliver these to my Uncle Charlie, and it's kind of a surprise. So maybe a separate video, I'll share that. But my family and I, you know, we greatly appreciate everybody watching. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by subscribing down below, and you can go over to HumboldtAxe.com as well. So from our family to yours, celebrate others, respect yourself, because love is powerful, man. And my uncle's going to dig these axes, man, for sure. Man, they came out nice. So All right, next time you see these, it'll be via Tahoe to my grandma's cabin, so we'll see you on the next one.